Hello, you dirty bunch of swipers and tappers. You are. Just admit it. Just admit it. You are those type of people. We all are. Also, since it's been a while since I've kind of like asked about hitting the subscribe button and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Let's try and get up by the end of the year to about 90,000 subscribers. That would be amazing. Thank you very much for doing that. Begin the show today on the Rebirth Crystal. The Rebirth Crystal, of course, got delayed. I was going to make a video yesterday to kind of like cover, hey, this is what's going on, but decided, well, I'm going to get an early night and focus on get the 2 videos that I put out to yesterday, Thursday, out and just kind of like done. So that was good that I kind of like did that. However, yes, things do be broken. Kabam have said for the Rebirth Crystal, there is going to be an extra amount of time allotted to go and collect it. So extending the end date by 7 hours, allowing for the one final pull, which might be good, but also bad at the same time, because guess what? Different countries, different zones, different regions have different times. Yes, only just found that out. Sarcasm overload, but that is basically an issue because if you're looking to collect that last one, you're like, well, that 7 hours, I'm kind of asleep because of my region. Then, of course, that becomes more of a frustration of when this broke to when, of course, the kind of like extra time to collect is actually come into play. So yeah, good, but also skeptically weird and possibly not so good. The part 2 to this is going to be with a double up feature, so the Rebirth double up crystal, which you can buy for $99, not £99 or whatever currency. In some currencies, in some countries, it's more expensive due to, I don't know, Google reasons and stuff. Buy from the web store. Always buy from the web store when it comes to getting like something that's better on price. Although, is it actually? No, I think some other countries have said it's bad on the web store as well. So you're doubly screwed. If you're looking for where to find this, if you've purchased it, there is going to be a separate tab to grab this within, or a double crystal. So it's not like a case of you kind of like grab it once. Like you got to go to 2 different crystals. It's like one's a double up one. As said through here, so these 2 players were having this conversation. Yeah, it's just it's on separate countdowns in 2 different things. So that's kind of like, yeah, it's not like you grab one and it doubles up. It kind of collects 2 at the same time. I don't know why Kabam haven't ever implemented that, but it used to be the case with like how these crystals were done in the past. We all like a nice little band story. They're always funny when we kind of cover them on the channel because you never know what's going to happen with the situation. Like, is it going to take a twist or a turn in a way that you're like, were they telling the truth or not? So this player says here, my account was perma-banned yesterday. Okay. That's no any illegal. Think my account. Please unban my account. Okay. Right. And the response to this is not illegal, but murking is not allowed per terms of service. Oh, it's got you. Stamped your number. No, that's not right. Stamped your book. Your book has been stamped with it. Not good if that happens. Of course, if incorrect, you've been incorrectly banned, reach out to support with Kabam and let them know your truth and your side of the story. Of course, coming onto the forums, you're going to be met with a response from Kabam, and it's probably not going to be good. Yeah. Also, if you've bought an account, don't buy your account. A little too late to give that advice, but don't buy an account. Mainly because, hey, I bought an account. It was made in Turkmenistan. I'm now living in Ireland. You're not going to be suspicious to Kabam in any kind of way, are you? Again, more sarcasm. Don't do those things because it will result in your account being banned. Let's talk about the forums. Obviously, the state of the forums isn't great at the moment. This is a bug. If you've been living under a rock for the last week or so, it is a bug. I know that there are people that are kind of conspiracy theorying this a little bit, but it is genuinely like a bug. Or whether you trust Kabam on that, maybe. So Kabam has said that obviously they're working on it, but probably will end up being a hybrid of this, an older version, because background updates mean the version we were using before is not going to be supported going forward. But we can make this look a lot better. It just will take some figuring out. So you could open this up to interpretation of, were Kabam informed that this update would happen? And were they prepared for it? That's, I think, the question that I would kind of pose from the state of the last kind of week or so. I like the forums. I like it better than Discord, but I like it from a point of view of I can see where responses are from Kabam employees to matters for the community, and it's just addressed in a little bit more of an organized fashion rather than Discord being a very kind of like weird place at times. I love Discord, but I like it for a different reason and a different kind of push for the community and gaming community, not just about this one, but others. Like, it works really well for Marvel Rivals and works really well for other video games, but it's like, it's difficult for a mobile game to have this kind of like, there are mobile games that work really well, but I just don't know with MCOC because they've always been following trends like, you know, Twitch drops and Discord. They haven't been setting trends or kind of like instant with trends and stuff like that. Anyway, whether you like the changes or not, they are here temporarily because, you know, it's a bug. It is a bug. There's definitely a lot of people kind of like, again, conspiracy theorying some stuff. So, in response to, I'll say that Dr. Zola, who has some, you know, good takes, this is a joke. Accidental, they said. It's all the provider and nothing we can do about it. Super unfortunate that it had the effect of putting the final nail in the coffin, the forum's coffin. But yeah, there's this kind of splinters into another thing with people and conspiracies. If we're trying to kill the forums, we would have done it last year with the launch of Discord. I know it's trickier now with the communication coming in multiple places, but we're trying to meet players where they are, and we know there is a very loyal contingent of players who prefer to interact through this medium, trying to get things improved to make a more usable forum experience. Just taking some time because there's a bunch of other things to do as well. Promise I'm trying to make this place better. So yeah, either you trust that or you don't trust that. And the reason that we kind of talk about trusting that or not is that we saw I saw this and it was like, the reason for the forums layout change has been revealed. It hasn't been revealed at all, but it does, which is weird because this then splinters into another topic, which is going to be our final topic of the day. But yeah, just finishing off on that point about the forums basically kind of like not being as great. You can't track particularly well people's responses. You know, this player says it's been more. It's to make it so that we don't focus on the fact that communication from Mike and everyone else at Kabam shut off like a faucet after the first 2 weeks of July. Now, that's not actually correct. So one thing I would say to anybody is that if you see Kabam, Pinwheel, Karate Mike, or whatever, all you need to do is click on them, click on their icon, and then click on comments or discussions, and you're able to follow back the chain of things that they've got back about maybe some of the particular like areas. One of your things might be covered, it may not be, or Kabam Pinwheel may be spending a lot of time having to respond to people about what's happening with the forums, therefore not allowing his time to be allocated to deal with other stuff, which of course comes part and parcel being a community manager, but also it's kind of like, well, according to people, there are people in the community that would go, well, why isn't Kabam Pinwheel fixing bugs? Well, he's a community manager. He doesn't fix bugs as part of his kind of like remit of job. Anyway, as I said, there is like there are stuff that I do believe we should have responses on. That dev diary was a fart within a room that still hasn't been cleared, that needs to be aired out with the community to find out information, because people need to see information. There's also, you know, compensation, cumulative compensation, and other things that definitely need responses to it. And we haven't really had that, have we? But I think Karate Mike, Kabamasaurus Rex, maybe some other members of Kabam are actually on holiday, so that might be the reason. But again, like, is that good to like not have? Is it bad to not have that cover to kind of give responses back to the community? Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? And as we said, that splintered off into the topic of the quality of the game. And there's a lot of stuff that does need to be kind of like dealt with. Community team responses, we've kind of said like it's there, but it's not against the topics that you want to see. And definitely on the topic of Dev Diary, Mysterium has been there, by the way. It's been in game, but the way that it's been unclear of where and what volumes, but also Mysterium Store, but that's another story for another day. Bugs, yep. AI, yep. Where's the update since that? Like since the last time there was a bit about AI? Like, what are they up to? What are they working on? Wonky resource management. Summoner Sigil requires, what was it, to rank for Relic. I mean, I think this player might spend, because he or she, bad mother, maybe female, Summoner Sigil. Like, well, I don't buy it, so I don't spend in game. So I don't know. That's kind of like, but all those things are relevant issues leading up to that last segment there. All of it's relevant issues, relevant like topics that require some answers. A little bit of a feeling towards the future. I know Kabam do like these little roadmaps, but those little roadmaps within the live streams, they need maybe a bit more substance to it, quite possibly. I know that like Dave a little while ago was kind of pushing more for those dev diaries, and it's great to see we are seeing them, but again, substance to things that are important. Been a while since we've seen things about AI. Also the state of bugs being fixed, addressed, and compensated, but mainly being addressed, fixed, especially prior to the launch of content. Maybe Kabam putting out too much content to then make sure that things are going out fine and completely without issue and incident. So definitely sympathize with players on their thoughts and stuff. Yeah, the cumulative compensation's another factor that we needed to kind of like consider. There was a bit of a weird response to this where someone said we need to support indie companies like Kabam who are clearly desperate for money to run their business. Yeah, so they're owned by Netmarble. Thought that was funny. That was quite funny. Yeah. What's everyone's thoughts? Like, for me, I just want to see responses to stuff. Like the dev diary last week, there were some scary things and some potentially unclarified miscommunications or misinterpretations that, yes, just could be taken in different directions that could pee off a lot of players. And I'm just left with questions that I need answers to. And I won't get those answers. Either I have to wait for Kabam Crash to kind of like drop in and do a response, or it's got to be something that we get a response, or we get like a showcase of this in the live stream that will be next Friday, I want to say. So there's a lot of stuff to kind of like think about. A lot of stuff still I'm waiting as a player to go, what's happening with AI? Are they improving the element of bugs fixes? A bug has happened in game. Well, when are they able to fix it? How quickly? With a lot of games being able to fix things just like instantly or within like an hour, sometimes it's taken a lot longer for Kabam because they're dealing with many bugs, not just one. And that's just down to the complexity of the game. But anyway, what are your thoughts about the current state of the game? Put it in the comments. And some of the topics as well. Talk in the comment section about some of the topics raised. And I'll see you all soon. Have a lovely day and goodbye.